Hello everyone, Logansryche here. Welcome on back to another episode of Aternos Minecraft. Now, before I get started, if you tried to view the last episode and couldn't for any reason, YouTube in their infinite wisdom has determined that the video violates the new community terms of services and removes it. So I'm going to actually have to go through the video with a fine comb to figure out exactly what about that video violates it, so I could remove it and then get it re-uploaded. Okay, so switch into creative here real quick.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning. It's a surprise. What's up?
The ceiling, of course.
Nah.
I will be jumping on Minecraft here shortly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have a village to create. To the village! And the bat cave. We gotta make a bat cave.
For those of you who don't know or forget or have forgotten, that is my lovely wife, Sage. All right, but if you remember anything from the previous video or the video before that, we were attempting to make a spawner to be used in the farms. Now, for whatever reason, the spawners themselves don't actually work. Excuse me. It could be something that I was doing. Could be that certain conditions weren't met. So I went and came up with a solution. And I'll explain why these hoppers are here in a minute. Alright, so we have a redstone clock with some redstone dust. Comes all the way around to here, to this dropper. Okay. And this dropper will shoot out an egg. And the egg will then hit against the redstone block. And then fall down here, and then be sucked up by this item router with the vacuum. I'll be putting the hyper cinder in here as well. I just have not gotten around to it yet. And when it's complete, because I can have this this circuit set up for multiple eggs, I'll be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be able to do 5 mobs at once. These are passive mobs. So this would be like your cows, your chickens. Well, maybe chickens will work. I don't entirely know. I don't think this will work with squid. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, and because even though this is creative mode, if you toss an egg in here, the egg will disappear. So what I've done was I devised a system of hoppers, where all I have to do is every once in a while come by and fill the hoppers with eggs, and they'll be full. That'll keep the farm going. But yeah, So that is how that is. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna set up the hypersenders. Something cool I have figured out with these ancient pedestals is I can take an item such as this hypersender, put it in, take it back, and it gives it to me again. Now, granted, this only works in when you're in creative mode, and for those that will eventually be allowed to come to the server, it'll be a survival mode for them. But for me, obviously, because I'm an admin and owner. All right, so we will head on down. I believe, yep, this one's already set up for leather. So we will do... Is that how that one would have been set up? Yeah, whatever. Why won't you? So insert item router module sends to a linked receiver module anywhere in the world. That's right. Left click item router with installed receiver. Okay, so I need to actually go grab a receiver before I do anything. Okay, that's a sender. It's a vacuum. That's a receiver. Okay. Okay, so now this hypersender will now send to here. Now the other thing that I'm going to need. You know what, let me check one other thing here, just real quick. So I believe that one is this one. Okay, yep. I thought so. So then I will then just sort that out from below. The other thing I'm actually going to need is called a sorter. And what this will do, where do I want a puller? It's a sender. it's kind of cheating doing it this way in creative, but at the exact same time, it's a lot better to do it this way than to attempt to line up all the items on the ground in a line and then pick them up, potentially breaking the floor. So it does have its positives. Okay, so with the puller, insert item router pulls items from the adjacent inventory. Left click block to set the direction. I believe this is done. Let's see. Is it a puller I needed? Or was it a sender I needed? Oh boy. And it's doing that thing again. Yeah, it's doing that thing again. It's being stupid. It's like Minecraft changes the ID or something very minuscule about that item to make it different than the others. It's strange. Okay, these are hypersenders. Polar. Insert an item router sends items elsewhere in adjacent inventory, or item router with receiver module within 10 blocks with line of sight. Okay, what I'm actually going to need is a sorter. So I'll come over to, I believe it's in items. Sender, speeder, sorter. Okay, and what this will do is this will insert into an item router, places items into inventory if inventory is empty or inventory already contains that item. Left click sets the direction. So let's go make one of the blank item router, a spider eye, and an arrow. Simple stuff, right? Okay, so one blank item router. I've seen some spider eyes over here. And one spider eye and one arrow, which I know I don't have over here, so I will grab one. These are all made in a, okay, so it's just made in a regular crafting table, which oddly enough I don't have anymore. Let's change that, shall we? The two things that I did have placed up here once before, and then for some reason got rid of, was a regular anvil and a regular crafting table. And there we are. Come over here. And we go down. So I'll set the direction. Now, the only thing I don't know is item routers right there. Okay, I set that for south. Now, okay, so I can only set one direction for these. Okay, so when the why is that in there? Oh, so silly me. Okay, so what happens is this hypersender will sit into the other item router and will be received here and then sent south into the HSU that's right there, or the BSU that's right there. Hopefully. You know what? Let me. Leather. There's already okay. So there's already 64 leather in there. There's 85 leather in there already. Just gonna make a mental note. Come on down here. Okay, that's the clock. Alright, so come on down here. We have a vacuum, and this vacuum will suck up any and all items that are within a 6-block radius of this item router that contains this vacuum. So this item router in particular will always have multiple hypersenders in it. Oh, we're going to do that one just for now. Grab our test egg. And it should have been sucked up in there already. If there was any leather at all. Okay, maybe is it stuck in the item router? Yes, beef was stuck in the item router. Okay. Alright, so then the next thing we'll have to do because cows drop leather, beef, and obviously no XP is dropped, I don't think. Not when drops that way anyway. So what we'll need is another receiver. over here. Okay, so there's 129 raw beef in there right now, this very moment. Which will be that one. So we'll put a receiver in there. Take one of our hyper senders. And I'll drop that in there. And then this will then send north, because the other one's sent south. Okay, so we have 129 in there. So we have a item right here. Okay. So what I'll actually have to do, because you can't actually drop something directly into a item router, is I will actually have to physically go back over here. Come down here. Come down here. And drop this router, this one into here. And then actually take the raw beef. Drop the raw beef. Okay, so the vacuum then grabs that. And this is designed so that no one should need to be able to come down here. So you'll actually need a fly in order to go down there at all. Trying to think if that was how that was supposed to be or not, or did it get stuck in the item router? No, didn't get stuck. Did it get stuck? It is stuck over here, just for argument's sake. Oh, that is so strange. That's very, very strange. You know, I want to try something here. Okay. Yeah, that's really strange. Yeah, because that beef keep getting caught where the whatchamacallit is. Because it's supposed to be received by this one, and it's not. Item router places items into inventory if inventory is empty or inventory already contains that item. Left click block sets direction. Left click air unset direction. You know, just for argumentative purposes, grab an item router here real quick. I want to test something here. I want to see if maybe so I have a receiver and this one's set up for south. I want to see if setting one up for all of the other directions will actually do anything. Let's see, that's west, it's east. So I've now created this nice circle. Excuse me. And then obviously we have up, and then we have down. So I'm now hoping that the way this will be set is that all items will then come into here and then be sorted around. If not, then I'll have to come up with something else. Make a couple mental notes here again. Uh, 85 leather, 129 beef. No, raw beef, rather. We come on down here. Let's just drop this one out of the way. That way everything goes through this hypersender and net vacuum. And we will drop this beef as a test, in which case it will be sucked up by the vacuum. And should be distributed so that there are now 130 pieces of raw beef. No. Why? Where'd it go? Whoops. Did it not? Oh, it's 129 there. Which means it's still stuck in the router. Yeah. That's actually okay. I know why. So I forgot to do one crucial thing, and that was to match the hypersender to that particular item router. Yes, 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 yes. I know. Lots of running around. That's all right. Also from here on out, I'll just leave the episodes numbered. I won't add any kind of quirky title to them or anything. And just in case that for some reason that's what invalidated the video. Alright, just to confirm that's gone there. So we should now have 130 pieces of raw beef. No, because it's stuck in there. Why is it stuck in there? Because it's not behind an actual router, which doesn't make any sense. Alright, let me see something else here. Okay. Alright, because I'm going to end up doing this for oops. For all these all the way down. Yeah, this is stuff that really makes like no sense. Because it's supposed to send. That raw beef to that item router. And obviously, it's not. What can I just do that for? So I now need to figure out what's going on. Because the south one needs to go to this one here for the leather. Because it needs to go to this one here. So it needs to go this direction. I need to have a receiver there. Receiver and a sorter for leather. That's all that's supposed. That's it. That is all that is supposed to filter out. And then obviously the reverse, sending that north. So I'll need a receiver there. I'm also pretty confident I know what's going on here. Just need a minute. The one thing that I did forget to do was I had forgot to, in the hypersenders, and I'll make up some new ones here. Alright, so this one is supposed to go to this one, and this one goes to this one. Now, this is supposed to filter out items, and in particular, this one is only supposed to, this one does leather, so we'll put leather in here. And then this one is supposed to be the raw beef, so that's filtered out there. And we'll give that a test. I'll hop on down here, and then here. Take this one back. Put those two in there. Whoops. Drop that beef in there to test. So there should now be 130 pieces of beef in here. No. I bet you still got caught in here. Which it's not supposed to. Why are you... I wonder if they're set to blacklist and not whitelist. Let's see. Module only process items which match the filter. There we go. Confirm that is now gone. Oops. So there should now be 130 pieces of beef. Yes! Yay! Woo! There we go. I am now ecstatic. Okay, so that's how that will have to be set up. Which is, you know, it's fine. And since this is going to be set up like this, really don't need... I can keep this set up like this. I don't mind. Okay. And then over here as well, because I think... Oh, okay, cool. Okay, not cool. Obviously, I will never be able to get to the sender that's behind here. Unless I do something like this. This way. That's accessible. And then over here, yeah, because these are accessible over here. Now, granted, I didn't think this was going to needed to be set up this way, but that's okay. Okay. Oops. And then it'll be set up like that. Um, then I can put a BSU back in there. This will just mean that I'll need to box this one up. And then box this one up as well. It's probably going to look kind of funky from the outside, but that's okay. Aren't those BSUs? Oh, okay, those are actually the BSUs for the adjacent space for the machine room. But those do not require item routers, so I am not going to worry about it. Worry about them rather. So put a BSU back in here. Put an item router. No, whoops. Back in here. Okay, and that's that. Okay. So again, for some reason, there was something about those 8 that the BSU doesn't like. I don't know what it is. It's something within the Slime Fun mod itself. Let me grab a receiver here. Make some copies of this. Because every item sorter needs to have a receiver in them, or else for some reason it won't process right. Because a hypersender will send only an item to an item router that has a receiver in it. So, excuse me. Okay, I'm obviously going to need many more. Probably looking at like 20. And when you're in creative mode, it's a lot easier to do it this way. That way you don't have to spend countless hours making and remaking all this stuff, which is perfect for myself as a sim owner or a server owner. Now I'm not entirely sure what the rest of these will have in them. Won't know until time goes on. Is it just 3? No, it's 4. Okay. See if I can get this laid out here a little easier. And I mean, and this is, and it's and the receiver, all it is, that's just all it does. It receives the item. There is no no direction you set or anything, which oops, which is nice. I'll use another 10. So okay. I do apologize for the background noise. Cats get a little anxious in the morning. How goes your village? Oh. Okay. Okay, so see here I needed. Okay. Just trying to remember where I left off at. And obviously that was the one we were just working on. Oops. Looks like we need some more. Plus the item routers to fill the void that we just got rid of. So okay. Alright, so over here, whoops. Okay, so there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. There's one, there's one, and there's one. Alright, so now all I have to do is set up the so now all I have to do is set up the sorters, at least on this side, to push items south, and then on the other side to push items north. And that should then take care of that. Okay, so this is a... Oh, it took it. Awesome. Okay. So then... Because I don't have any sorters over here. Do I have any sorters left? Oh, I just grabbed the ones from in here. It's early. It's still early in the morning. Probably use about 40 of these. Maybe 50. Okay, that wasn't what I needed. Okay, so let me see this real quick if it'll let me shove those in there. Okay, cool. Oops. And these are the only two things that these need to be in these routers anyway. And then when it comes time to actually sending the items through the hypersenders, you just match the ID as I did before. So, yep, I will need about 30 sorters per side, or maybe about 25. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually about 24. And I will take these sorters and actually toss them into an area here by themselves. That way I actually have some for future use. Got 8 more there. These ones go north, so I'll probably again do 30. That way I have a little extra. Oops. And I was right that the item rotors do not need to be powered, so you do not need to run any kind of heat power or electric power to it, which makes it really cool. If you plan on doing a lot of quote unquote off-grid stuff, or if you don't quite have the ability or wanting to make all of the power stuff, because power stuff's not for everyone. Alrighty, and then that covers that. And then I'll drop those in there. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and call the video there. Appreciate everyone that comes out and watches my videos, and if if these videos end up helping folks out in terms of what I play around with, then that's cool. In the meantime, all the important information is in the description below, and I will see everyone in the next video. Take care, everyone.